Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our program today. I'm always excited to come here and share with you guys. Always, always. I know last week we couldn't be here due to some unexpected events. Yeah, so we are delighted to be here today. So for some of you get your pen and paper. For some of you, you just need to listen in and, be a part of what is happening today on CNJ Training and Consultancy Facebook Live. Our topic today is leadership is not spontaneous, it is intentional. So we want to really go into that. And as more people come on, I'll give you the reason why I chose this topic today. All right? I'm not taking any credit for this, the name of this topic today. I'll give credit where credit is due. Alright, so as usual, I want to give some people some more time to come on board. It's always great to be here. Always. Hi, Margaret. Thanks for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to come and share and really, give back to the things that you know to do. And we all have a voice, and I'm just encouraging you guys, for those of you who have been called to help others, for those of you who have been called to really speak those things that others need to hear, please be intentional and just do it. Yeah? The year is over, 2020, we are going into 2021. So what have you done? What have you done? I'm going to do a session next Friday as we are coming to the end of the year in this month of November, because we will close off our Facebook Live at the end of the month. I am really going to prep you guys, and we are going to begin to start to talk about our goals and how we plan to achieve it. Hi, Tasha. Thanks for joining in. And we are going to really talk about those things. So it is going to be very helpful for you guys. Yeah? I had a session with my mentees and we went through goal achievement and I had their head hot. Yeah. Yes. It was a very interesting, very, very interesting topic. So we are going to do that coming closer to the end of the month, because we really need to be intentional about our lives. We need to be intentional about the things that we plan to do, because years are just passing. You realize that? Years are just passing us by, and what have you achieved? What have you done with your life? Good? Hi, Margaret. What have you done with your life? And these things are so critical. These things are so important to who we are and why we exist. Yes, the cemetery is filled with so many people who have not achieved a lot of things that they're supposed to. Hi, Psyche. Oh my God, so good to see you today. Thanks for joining in. Yeah. So our topic today is leadership is not spontaneous, it is intentional. Now, I am not going to take credit for that. Good. I was having a conversation with one of my mentees, and he was talking about leadership and how people really and truly handle things. And he said he believes that leadership is not spontaneous, it is intentional, and you need to be intentional about things and not just the spur of the moment. And I said, hold up, I'm writing that down, could you please send it to me? And I made a note of it and I said, I'm going to do it. Because when I thought about it and I did the research on it, it is so true. Leadership is not spontaneous, it is intentional. You may have spontaneous moments and you may have those spontaneous traits, but you cannot carry about your leadership just being spontaneous. Good? So I want you to understand the difference. So let us talk about a spontaneous leader. Being a spontaneous leader means being able to not just react to the occasion, but more importantly, to anticipate it. And that's good. It's good to have those spontaneous genes in your bone, but you may not be overall a spontaneous person. This type of leader thrives on both sharing the power with followers and peers and demanding that they produce their best. That's a leader that's open. That's a democratic leader. A spontaneous leader wants to hear feedback. They want to know what's happening. What are some of the concerns you have. But in doing that, they will expect that you really give of your best. Good, and that's good. That's a very good trait about a spontaneous leader. However, even a spontaneous leader has to be intentional about their leadership and the people that they lead. I am not disputing being spontaneous. I am not spontaneous. I'm a planner. Good. And I'm not being biased. But it's good to talk about these things. However, if your leadership is continually being handled in a spontaneous manner, then nothing will be planned. Nothing will be accomplished. Nothing will be achieved. It will always be a spur of the moment. A lack of consistency, lack of stability, a lack of focus, lack of structure. You see how many lack there with having that kind of spontaneous leadership? Because you see, a spontaneous person doesn't plan. It's like hey, let's go to the beach. I'm feeling for doubles. I'm feeling for Royal Castle. It's always a spontaneous. That's how spontaneous leadership operates. And I know people, hi Apostle, I know people who are very spontaneous in their leadership, and it throws you off, because nothing is really planned. Yes, you will create an environment for creativity, which is quite needed. However, within this creative environment, your team must be stabilized in their efforts to achieve their objectives. And nothing is wrong with being, because spontaneity is good. It makes you feel motivated, and it gives your team the edge to have fun and to really want to go to the next level. However, there must be some form of structure. There must be some form of being intentional. They must know where they're going, because it's like every day you wake up, it's like, okay, what are we going to do next? Where are we going? Yeah? Because when you're spontaneous, they have no vision, Spontaneous people is like, we go in with the flow. Some people, you ask them, okay, so what are your plans? What are you going to do in the next 3 years? Well, I'm just going with the flow. Whatever life throws at me. Really? So you have no plan? No, we can't be like that. No, you're going to find yourself in a ditch, and you're going to eventually find yourself being stuck because nothing is going to be accomplished. Good? For example, you can be spontaneous, and you will have those spontaneous moments. Pull from it. So your team has been given a project to complete, and you suddenly decide that this new idea you received is so exciting and will be a big hit. You tell your team to redirect themselves on the new idea after they have worked hard and what you told them to do before. They spent days and nights researching, getting resources together, etc. It would leave your employees and your team members very disgruntled, and eventually they will become very distrustful of you, of your leadership, and it will bring some discomfort, since they will never know if you're going to change your project in a moment's notice. So you literally have people on edge. Now, having people on edge is good at times, because you want to get the best out of them, and you want them to feel that, yeah, I want you to dig deep, and I want you to think. That is good. Especially you have a meeting and they know, Lord, every time our manager or our leader call a meeting, we had to come real good, because we have to think. That is good. That is good. But you cannot run your ship. You imagine you on a battleship and you say, nah, don't take no guns. We'll just take some arrows. We will just flow. And when you go on out there, you realize the enemy have some artillery. Listen, what are you going to do with those arrows? the artillery blowing up the arrows because you want to go with the flow, because you just spontaneous. No. Use this trait for those spontaneous moments. For instance, you have an upset parent corners you in the classroom. You have to be spontaneous how to respond. Your manager pins you down in a staff meeting and demands an immediate answer. You have to know how to pull that. A team member pulls you aside at an event and throws you a curveball. Those are the times when you have to pull, that spontaneous trait that's within you. A senior supervisor sends you an email that says that she demands an immediate attention to it. These are what I would like to call spontaneous leadership moments. And these are the moments very few leadership books, classes, and workshops prepare you for. These are things, yes, psyche, recipe for disaster. And these are things that you don't learn from these books. These are things that life experience will give you. And, but you cannot go about leading people in a set, spontaneous manner with no thought process in place. You must be intentional at some point of your leadership, or else all will fail. Good? So let's look at the intentional leader. I consider myself an intentional leader because I plan, there's a thought process. I look at what is happening. Hi, Pastor Margaret. I look at what is happening at the end of the year. We are coming to the end of the year. When I meet with my mentees, before you start the program, there's a questionnaire that you fill out. So it's intentional because I need to know what are the gaps. I need to know what are the things we need to work on. What are the things we need to fix? What are the things we need to close? And intentional leader, because there's clarity. You're clear about what you're, but even intentional leader, you want to be spontaneous. You want to have fun. You want the people that are involved to fully get their attention and have them engage. Like the kids mentorship, as much as I'm intentional, I'm also spontaneous. So they don't know the activities that I'm planning. So this Friday, we are going to be doing goal setting. And I found this creative form for goal setting for kids. And so I sent it to the parents for them to print. So it's going to be exciting. They know it's planned. They know all the topics, but they don't know the activities. And here's where now I become spontaneous. Because they're waiting and they're always like, wow, what auntie coming with? Good? So in intentional leadership, intentionality is a sustained focus on a goal or initiative, one that has purpose and meaning for everyone. People experience an intentional leader as deliberate. And I love that word. An intentional leader is deliberate because you're deliberate about what you're going to do and what you want to accomplish. They have a plan. The plan is clear. Everybody understands it. They know where we are going, what you're doing, and they know why. That's an intentional leader. You have to be, and even me, be intentional as a parent. Be intentional as a friend. Be intentional about everything that you put your hands to because you want to achieve it. Good? So let's look at what an intentional leader does. They set deadlines. They encourage the employee to take ownership and to be accountable. I love to set deadlines because you see, deadlines cause you to achieve. Deadline cause you to check on yourself. Deadline cause you to see that I have not done this thing and I need to start it. Good? So you set deadlines for your tasks, your goals, your meetings. Make your employees accountable and own their actions. So an intentional leader, they're very clear about achieving organizational objectives with no room for ambiguity. And that's the thing about a spontaneous leader. They say, oh, what's the problem? Let me just do this thing now. You ain't clear now, but you're going ahead. And every minute, everybody asking each other, what we doing? All you sure? And you ain't want to ask. Because you just, your leader, what he will say or she will say is, don't worry about it now. When we reach down the road. When we reach down the road, but what tools do we have? We can't just reach down the road, and that's the thing we have to be mindful of. For instance, before closing off a meeting, deadlines should be set for execution of plans and completion of projects. Everyone understand, and it is clear about their role and function for the project at hand. Hi, Sunita. And what happens with that? There's a level of confidence you have in your leader. You feel good about the work you are involved in, and your progress shows eventually. There's something about an intentional leader that makes the team feel organized, structured, and motivated. And I remember one of the jobs where I worked, every time they had a management meeting, I would ask my manager, what did y'all achieve? Good. So we knew what was the items for HR. Did y'all close off on this? Did y'all close off on that? And he will tell me no. I said, so what was the meeting about? I said, so y'all did not come. So it was just talk. Nothing closed off. No deadlines given. No new items were listed so that we need to achieve what the department goals are. Nothing. Spontaneous leadership. So a bunch of us sitting down hours, half of the day, and nothing accomplished, and everybody coming out lost. Let me tell you, it happens all the time in organizations, believe it or not. We're not going anywhere fast. The fastest speed is stop and slow. And I really think that even for our own lives, what are you intentional about? Are you still at that stop sign? Are you still slow? You can't move. And some people love to tell me, Caroline, I have my goals written down and this is what I plan to do. And I'm saying, okay, where have you gone? We in November. We in 2020. Yes, Sunita, set clear objective. We in 2020. What have you done? What have you done with it? How do you feel? And then here what? 2021, resolution time. Hey, can't stop here. We start a plan. We making all these resolutions. Nothing coming out of it. March comes, and here you. Oh look, I go look at something else. I good. No. We have to be intentional. Plan it. Execute it. What are the steps? And all of those are things I'm going to be talking about with my kids. Because as young as they are, they need to understand, even for their school, for now, for their life. So set good foundations for your life. Because we have very poor habits that we have developed and we have held on to. So an intentional leader clarify the mission, the goals, the objectives, and priorities. Listen, the kind of priorities we have for our lives is amazing. And I ask my mentees, list all your bad habits. List your good habits. You know which habits longer? I know you know the answer. The bad habits. The poor habits we have developed. The list longer than the good habits. And we don't set priorities for our lives. What is your priority? Create a clear picture of where you're going and why, and give people reason to care. One of my mentees said to me, she said, when I saw the topic for mentees meetup, goals achievement, she said, oh Lord, Caroline. She said she run quick. She looked at her vision board. Don't just make your vision board to just make it safe. It is not a magic board. You have to be intentional about it. Look at the things that you have listed, because your picture form are your goals. What are you doing about it? And I know my sister Margaret, she said to me, when she looked at her board, she said she saw the things that she said that she was going to do, and she couldn't believe she started doing it. She's achieving it. It's a lot of work. But you feel good. You feel you have purpose. You feel like you have been accomplishing things. So don't just have a vision. Some of you, your vision board, incomplete. It on the ground. Yeah. Guilty. Nothing happening. You have to be clear. This is your life, you know. And I was telling my mentees, when you go to an organization, they have a strategic plan. When you sit in the lobby, there's a vision statement, the mission statement. They know what they're going to achieve. They have set goals, and guess what? You have to achieve it because you have to work with them to achieve it. But guess what? Your life left undone. You have to be intentional. Be an intentional leader. You don't have to go training for that. Be intentional about you, about yourself, about what you want to do. Right? So another trait for intentional leader, they slow down to speed up. I love that. Once you have identified these priorities in your life, leave time for discussion so people can raise questions, discuss sticking points, and get clarity. And this also goes for a leader. You have a team, and let them, like Tuesday night, I allow them to identify what are some of the priorities, what are some of the things in their life they wanted to achieve. But they had to discuss it. Apart from they had to work with pen and paper, writing it down. I went to them. Everybody had to talk about it. Everybody had to talk about it, and we had healthy discussions, and get clarity, and because you're letting people feel that they are part of something great, not just a follower of dreams. I don't want my mentees to just be writing goals for writing's sake. What are your priorities? What are your deadlines? What do you plan to? Very good, Margaret, your vision board up now. So what are you plan? How you plan to achieve this thing? What are some of the roadblocks you're going to encounter along the road? Did you think about that? What are your solutions? Is it that your child is getting ready to do C, so you may need to hold back here, or you may not focus so much? These are your obstacles. These are your roadblocks. You have to write it down. You see, it must be a full plan, You can't be spontaneous. Look, that is okay, yes. I had to drop a lessons. Listen, a lot of your time is going to be consumed. So you have a vision and a plan. So when your child has to focus, because remember, you might be the main player in dropping her off or him off or coming back, and you have to be the one to ensure that they set up and they're on Zoom and lessons and these different things. It takes up a lot of your time. But what are you doing? Are you listing those things? How are you going to treat with it? What are the solutions that are in place to help you alleviate all those things so that you can still focus on the things that you're called to do? You have to be intentional. You're getting it? Nice. Stay tuned to what is happening around you. And that's the thing about a spontaneous leader. They head in the cloud bad, They're like, no. And I'm not bashing them. But being spontaneous is wonderful. I need a lot of spontaneous friends because I like order. I like structure. So I need those people around me to say, girl, let's do this now. And kind of shake me out of my Mexico, ma. Yeah? And so that I could get to move and be flexible. So you need people like that around you. And I need that also to be a part of my trade. Because when you stay tuned about what is happening around you, you keep lines of communication open. You learn about issues around you. You pay attention to thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Alignment requires sustained effort. So you're aware of your environment. You're aware of what those that are going through. You're aware of your own feelings and emotions. And we need to own our feelings. That's something that I constantly do. I own my emotions. Sometimes I avoid dealing with it, but then I come back. Because why am I feeling this way? An intentional leader is intentional about how they feel, what is happening, the other people around them, their team, those that are following them. They are aware because you have to be in tune, but you can't be selfish. You have to be in tune with the people. Spontaneous leader, them in business. One to you, shake up yourself, shake up yourself. But in shaking up themselves, there might be something that they need to maybe have further discussions about. And you need to assist them, maybe hold their hand and guide them through. Yeah? So while you're being spontaneous, you need to be intentional about those people that are around you. And we take those things for granted. And also you need to become an excellent leader of meetings. Stop wasting people's time. People's time, very precious. Time lost cannot be regained. It gone. Yesterday gone. Today is today. So you might have the best of intentions, but if your agenda is not clearly defined and outlined, then it would be in vain, time wasted. We come to meet. It's a simple project. Nothing is wrong. Your list, even before you meet, you have an agenda. Someone is taking minutes. And even, I normally take minutes when we have our leadership meeting. And I have designed it in such a way that we have the agenda, we have all the topic, the things that we are going to identify in the meeting, and then I would put also on the minutes of the meeting the things that we have to achieve. So when I send it over to my leader, he is quite clear. So it's easy for him to pinpoint all those different things. And in addition to that, I have created a template of an action plan. So these are the priorities and these are the things that we need to attend to. So you don't necessarily have to be going through the minutes now. That is an added sheet so that now it popping out. You know exactly what you have to do because you're intentional. Now my eyes, I have problems, like I have dry eyes. So I constantly always have to keep it lubricated, and there's a reason for that. Because I am always in front of a laptop. Trust me, sometimes 9 o'clock, I would take a break, and I would go 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night, and I would just do stuff. Because I'm intentional, because the work that I'm called to do, I always have to keep building, and I always have to keep creating things. Because I have to think, I can't just have a mentorship program and have people just coming on and we just chatting. No. The documents that I create is customized to what they are going through. It's customized to the gaps in their life. It is customized to the things that they need to bridge and they need to develop. So I have a mentee who is going through a change in her own leadership role. So I say, we're doing disruptive leadership. So that she have an understanding of what it is, and disruption is good. And these are some of the things that you have to pull on now. Every time they come up and they go through different things, I now have to be creative in designing and doing the research. And I myself, I am learning a lot. So this job that I am doing is not just for them, but for me. Listen to me, I am learning so much. They are taking me out of my box. So I don't have to settle here alone, and that's good, because you get to grow and you get to develop, and all that also is part of self-leadership. Good. So an intentional leader cultivate a discipline of intentionality. I love that. A discipline. And we are not disciplined by the way we treat ourselves. I am amazed. We do so many good things for people, but when it comes to us, we don't. We leave ourselves undone. So leadership is about mindfulness. And if you're constantly in a rush and don't have time to think, you cannot be intentional. You have to stop and spend time planning. You have to stop and spend time deciding what you're going to do with your life. We are going in 2021. What is going to happen? Do you want to stay at that same job? I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she's telling me about the challenges she's currently facing in her job. And I said to her, you remember that conversation we had last year when I told you, because I saw what was happening, send out your resumes, don't wait. The year's nearly over. I told her that since it could be around this time, before, and it was about like September, I told her that last year. A year has passed. Maybe she could have been in a better job now, more comfortable. You understand? We have to stop and think about what is happening. Don't wait for people to usher you out. Don't wait for people to get rid of you. An intentional leader, just now we spoke about it, is aware of what is happening around them and make the necessary adjustments and movements to go there. You need to know when your time is up. Bye-bye. Walk away. I've never been fired from a job. I have always made that decision to leave, to walk away. The season is over. That time is up. That has always been my forte, because I am always like, okay, What is going to happen for next year? What is your move, Caroline? What is your move for the business? What are some of the things you're going to focus on? And this is what I'm thinking of for 2021. And in 2021, we are going to create our app for CNJ training. I am already thinking about those things. What are we, and a lot of things, I have new, fresh ideas of what we're going to do in 2021. Because you have to stop and think. And you have to find that quiet time to get clarity for yourself about projects, about your priorities, and set your own intentions. Set your own intentions. What are your intentions? Think through them. What do you plan to do for the next 5 years of your life? What are your goals for 2021? What didn't work for you in 2020 that you want to work in 2021? That is your intentional behavior. The traffic light, get rid of it. Get rid of it. You need to do something. You need to move. Because you cannot continue. Listen, I was listening to a live yesterday and they were talking about momentum. And sometimes you start off small and you may not see the results the way you want to. But you know what? Because you're intentional and you're continuing and you're consistent, there's momentum. And eventually it's going to build. By the time you realize it, you're going to just shoot off. But you have to start somewhere. And I want to encourage you, for those of you that are on, and before you, please share this live. Someone needs to hear this. And when I'm through, I'm going to upload it on YouTube. And I want you all to subscribe to our channel. Good? Listen, we have to start being intentional about our lives. The world is changing. It is before our eyes. No one has any excuses. We don't know what 2021 is going to be like. So start thinking about things and changes in your own life that you want to do. You have 2 months. You have enough time to sit in a quiet place and do it. We can help you at CNJ Training and Consultancy Limited. You can call us at 320-5961. Shoot us an email at canejtraining@gmail.com or inbox us. And we will help guide you. And I have a lot of supervisors and managers that are coming on board who have been recently promoted. And they are getting the results. Things that their organization not even going to do with them. They are not even going to pay for them to get what they get at CNJ Training because we do a one-on-one. And I'm seeing the difference. They're using their tools. They're saying, Caroline, I had a situation, and I am so encouraged. This program at CNJ Training is going to blow up. And right now, I'm looking at getting accreditation for the program, the mentorship, because once it's 6 months to a year, you can be accredited. So these are some of the things we're working on for 2020. You understand? I am being intentional because we want to be accredited so organizations can use our program and they could, when their employees leave, they are certified. They are certified, and that is going to help them to really and truly be promoted and develop and grow in the organization. So we have a lot of things on our list of goals for 2021 already because I've reviewed the business plan and I said to my mentees, write down every 3 months I'm going to review my goals and plan to see where I'm at. So I want to encourage you. So Friday, we have our 4th session of our kids mentorship. And as I said, we are going to do goal setting. We are going to write their goals and how the document is filled out, what steps they're going to take, who is involved, and I'm going to go through it with them. And, it's going to be exciting and I make it fun for them. And, when the parents saw it, they were like, yes, they're so happy. And some was like, they would be able to do this. I said, yes. You'd be surprised to know what these young minds can do because the kind of feedback I get from them at the end of the session, what is their takeaway? I'm like, okay, these are adults. Good. So I am building a good foundation with them and I am so happy. This is so rewarding for me. It is so much more than what money can buy, affecting these young minds. And I really want to push this kids mentorship. And I'm going to do another age group, the teenagers from 14 to about 17, 18. So if you have a child that, needs that kind of foundation, but with that age group, I'm going to do a whole different program. But but just to encourage your children, because we want them to start now in being intentional. What are their careers? What are some of the things they want to do in their lives? And there are things inside of them that are hidden. We are going to help unlock it. All right. So I really want to thank you for joining us today. So next week, we're going to go deeper into our priorities and our goals because we're getting ready for 2021. So some of you, if you're by your desk, come with your pen and paper. Yes, I am very intentional because I want to help you guys. Listen, the information you get in here, you know you had to pay for it elsewhere. So appreciate, take notes about these things. And we have a mentee session once a month when I meet with everybody. So, and it's free. So I tell my mentees, invite, friends, people who they know might want to come and learn. So some of you who are on my live, it's normally like the first week of every month. You can shoot me a WhatsApp and email, say, Caroline, can I join? Can I be a part of it? And I'll send you the Zoom link. That is not a problem because you guys are faithful. So come and be a part of what is happening and what is going on. And our session we started at 6, we finished after 9. Yeah. It's real discussion, real interaction. I don't do all the talking. I always have them involved. Good. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. It's always been a pleasure. Please share. And also, could you subscribe to our YouTube channel? And we are also on Instagram. All right? Yes, Psyche, definitely. I want your kids to be on it. Nice. Good. So I will look out for the flyer, Psyche, and we are going to post it. So that's one of the things we are going to be pushing. We're going to do that for 2020 because, Christmas time, everybody losing focus. The kids, you want to rest them. So I'm looking at it. So I might just do a session. Maybe it will just be 5 weeks because if I go 6 weeks with the teens mentorship, it's going to take us into Christmas Day. So we might just do like 5 weeks of it. And they're older, so 5 weeks will be good for them. All right? And then we will do some more in 2021. It will be an ongoing program. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great rest of the day. Yes, Margaret, balance is everything. Have a good rest of the day, a good week, and a good weekend. And please be intentional about your life. Bye-bye.